Hello and welcome once again to True Vision Radio. I am your host, Awesome Al, along with my producer and co-host, Pooch.
What's the business, Montgomery, Alabama, and around the world, YouTube land?
Yes, what's going on in YouTube land today? What's going on out there, Hooch?
You got it, big baby.
I see you had been out and about getting your gigs ready.
Yeah, we had some ups and downs and rounds, and had to attend my uncle's funeral. So it was good to see my family, all my folkses, and my sister and my nieces.
Yeah, your sister came down from Jersey, right?
Right, had a good time, and she's trying to get her brother up there. I told her, I promise I will be in Jersey. Not once, not twice, but a lot.
What you gonna do in Jersey?
Same thing I do here. I'm gonna be gigging. No, just hanging out with the family. Gotta get enough.
Gigging in Jersey. Your band is not there, so how you gonna gig?
I'm gonna fire him, make another band.
All right.
And push my sister to come
Do
out.
like Prince.
Yeah.
Fire one band, hire another.
Yeah. But it was cool. He was a brilliant man. My uncle, not just saying that. He passed up the NFL, raised his boys, went to Vietnam, earned a Purple Heart in Vietnam.
Uncle Buford.
Yeah, he always say a wreck has to have more than one hole to go through. You have to have more than one money stream.
That's a good slogan. A rat got to have more than one hole to go through.
Yeah, I can dig that. Yeah. Yep.
All right then.
Yeah. May he rest in power, Mr. Uncle Buford Cox. Dig it.
Yeah. My condolences goes out to the Cox family.
Yeah.
And the Macmillan family, because of you.
Well, you know what they say, you what your father is, so I'm both, Macmillan and Cox. What my daddy is. I just can't build stuff like him. I build music. He can build anything. My dad can build anything.
Well, then, shout out to your pops.
The Deuce.
The Deuce.
It makes sure my sister, be careful on that road. She can drive like hell. Like my niece Stashi, she could drive. I'm like, damn, the Talladega 9. I need to end my knees into the Talladega 9.
Be careful out there, cousin.
Oh yeah, that's right. You kin to
Yeah, I'm akin to the Coxes.
Oh, that means we're related.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna let that stop me in life.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you bring your asses on in. Hit that thumbs on up. And
yeah, come on into the room. Come on in the room.
Yeah.
Come on.
True Vision, we're your doctor, and we fulfill all your scriptures.
Come on in the room and hit that thumbs up button. And as I said last week, not the middle finger. Hit those thumbs up and give us a shout out. Give us a donation as well. Like our good friend, Miss Keisha Mason.
Yeah, Keisha.
Miss Keisha Mason in Macon, Georgia.
Yeah, when you called me, you told me to check the Cash App. I'm like, what? And so I'm like, well, I'll check it, but I'm pretty sure we got probably maybe $5 or $1. And I look, whoa!
Yes.
50 bones.
Yes, Miss Keisha.
So shout out to Miss Keisha.
Miss Keisha was very generous, and we appreciate that, Miss Keisha.
I didn't want my ass whipped. No, I don't want to do this. I don't want my ass whipped. I'm not into that kind of thing, Keisha. But
whatever.
God bless you. Thank you very much, Keisha, and keep them coming.
Thank you, Miss Keisha, and thank you for listening to True Vision Radio as well. She is one of our loyal listeners.
Dig it.
Here in True Vision Radio.
Most definitely.
Yes, sir. Also, NFB, that's what we talk about as well, the National Federation of the Blind, Montgomery area chapter, with our leader, Miss Parmy Simonton.
Yeah. I won't say it.
Okay. But yes, Miss Parmy is the leader, along with the rest of the gang down there at the chapter. And I want to say hello and what's up to the chapter.
Dig it. I can't do it like Punch.
No, you can't.
Make the shit happen. Get in, YouTube family. What it is gonna be, what it is gonna be, what it is gonna be, what it is.
Oh, the Punch can do that. Now.
Oh,
You know that.
yeah. Shout out to Brother Punch.
Yeah, I can give a shout out to Brother Punch, who is a member of the Birmingham chapter, by the way. The Magic City chapter in Birmingham, Alabama. Yes, sir. So,
Don't worry about it, Keisha. I ain't got the Jack and Coke yet.
Not yet.
I'm not gonna touch it.
Not yet.
Not heavily, I won't.
Not yet, Keisha. Well, he's thinking about it.
We need microphones. So. But if you send another deuce, then I can splurge a little bit.
But as I was saying about the NFB chapter, Miss Parmy and the gang, you know, what's up to you all, and we're giving you this shout out. Last Sunday,
R. Kelly's part of our chapter too. Well, he is.
Not that R. Kelly.
Hey, why'd you start like
Mr. Kelly gonna whoop you.
The original R. Kelly.
Mr. Kelly gonna get you, boy.
I love you, R. Kelly.
I can't wait till he gets you. Notice he said that, Mr. Kelly. But anyway.
I'm drinking coffee, excuse me.
But yeah, Montgomery chapter here in Montgomery, we got 7 chapters around the state, as Punch pointed out last week. We got 7 chapters. Montgomery, I'm going to call it the capital city chapter. That's what they should call it. But it is Montgomery Capital City chapter, Magic City chapter there in Birmingham, the Bay City chapter, I believe that what Punch said they call down there in Mobile, Rocket City chapter in Huntsville. I don't know what they call the one in Talladega. And I don't know what they call the one in Tuscaloosa, and I don't know what they call the one in Jasper, Alabama. But yeah, we got 7 now. Working on 8. I think the Circle City chapter is coming along down in Dothan, Alabama. And I guess they're going to get that up and going. So yeah, NFB, I hope they had a good turnout last Sunday for the open house, which was last Sunday. I believe it was on Zoom. And they had a virtual open house ceremony last Sunday. So I hope they had a good turnout on that. And I hope we got some new members in the chapters around the state of Alabama. So, hey, cool. NFB, we're changing what it means to be blind. Go to nfb.org for the national and nfbmontgomery.org for the local chapter. Okay? All right. All right, Hooch, what's up?
Oh no, how's the weather?
The weather is fine outside. It's fall. It's coming, man. Fall is coming. The first day of fall is next Tuesday, as a matter of fact.
No way.
Yeah, the 22nd is the first day of fall. The summer's gone. The summer's gone. And this year's cruising by. Speaking of, well, I'll get to that one later about cruising by. But, yeah, the weather is good.
Football season, huh?
Football season, yes. Football season kicks off. Well, it has kicked off for the past 2 weeks. Football has been going on, but the Troy Trojans, my alma mater, is Troy going to kick off their season tomorrow over there in Middle Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. They're going to play tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. Troy and the Middle Tennessee, I believe they call her Blue Raiders, of Middle Tennessee, and the Troy Trojans. Yes, I'm a Trojan man.
Yeah.
In more ways than one. But.
I hope so. I hope so, my brother.
But yeah, Troy kicks off tomorrow. And then Alabama, Crimson Tide, the SEC, kick off their season next week. And yeah, football is back. The weather is cooperating because next week, starting today, we only going to be in the lower 80s today, and dropping down tonight, it's going to be in the lower 60s.
Oh, cuddling weather.
Yeah, Cut it up, buttercup.
Yeah. If not, I just do it with the Jack and Coke. It's all
All
right.
right. Yeah, that'll keep you warm.
You hear that, Keisha? 5 or 10.
Yeah, right.
Get it on in. You know what I'm saying?
That'll keep you warm. That'll keep you warm. It's Jack and Coke. But all starting tomorrow, temperatures are only going to be in the 70s.
Well, since you're doing that, just hold what you got. Because
Thank you, Hooch. Yes, in the news, let's start out with the weather this time. The weather, fall is here, and next week it's going to show that fall is here. The temperatures here in Montgomery and the surrounding areas are only going to be in the 70s, mid and lower 70s. In the daytime, in the upper 50s at night.
Big girl season.
Oh man, you know I love my big girl.
That's where you gotta go and get it in. Get it on in, Kiki.
Oh, Sister Big Bone. See, Hooch, you got me cutting up. But yeah, the weather's gonna be real nice for the next 6 to 7 days. 70s in the daytime, 50s at night. I could turn off my air conditioner and save on my power bill for real. I mean, for real.
Yeah, we talking about a 450, 400 pounder.
No, I ain't talking about that now. And no, that'd be too much for me. But, see, who should be? Maybe forgot what I was going to say. I'll tell you, boy, I did it with you.
The weather, Al. It's the weather.
Okay, the weather. Also, in the weather, we could have another tropical storm or hurricane somewhere around next weekend or beyond. We had this week Hurricane Sally. That girl. Sally came in and Sally came ashore late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning on Dolphin Island and Gulf Shores. You don't hang out down there, huh? Yeah, Gulf Shores.
Shout out to the keg.
Yeah, the Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, and Fort Morgan, and Perdido Key, all down there on the coast of Alabama. And the hurricane came ashore as a Category 2 hurricane with winds of 105 miles per hour. Came ashore Wednesday night, but the thing was not the damaging wind. The wind did not do too much damage. It's the rain. Southeast Alabama and some parts of South Alabama have had almost a foot of rain. So Sally did. Sally came in wet.
Yeah. She pulled up her dress and boom.
Now, we're talking about we may have a hurricane in a few days. Where do they get these names from? We just had Sally. This one is going to be named Winfred.
Oh, God.
Winfred. Hurricane Winfred. He's coming. He's coming, man. We Hurricane Winfred. He's going to have on the brim tipped to the side.
Not Wilford.
Winfred. Winfred. Winfred.
Yeah.
Hurricane Winfred is coming. Also in the news, of course, you saw the town hall meeting out Tuesday night, didn't you?
I didn't.
Or did you see it?
I didn't see it.
Okay, Donald Trump did a town meeting Wednesday night on ABC, and there was a lady there. She was asking him about, I believe, he tried to dismantle Obamacare, and she had a precondition that she needs Obamacare for to help pay her medical bill, and she was talking. And Trump was getting ready to say something. And she said, "Excuse me, sir, I'm still talking."
Whoa. Whoa.
And my sister, she was watching it. She said Donald Trump like made an ugly face and balled up his lip.
Well, that's not easy to. That's not hard to do.
Said it looked like he wanted to say a racial slur because the woman was black.
That's what he needs. Some sisters to get on him, you know.
Yeah, but that happened, and then the next day after the meeting, the town meeting, he went on Twitter. That's the only communication he can do. But he went on Twitter and he told his Republican senators and the Treasury Secretary to put some more money into a stimulus bill, so some stimulus checks could be passed out. That came from Donald Trump. And I know he did not do it because he felt sorry, because he came from a town meeting and they were talking about stimulus payments and stuff like that. The reason he did it is because his numbers is falling in the poll.
Not surprising.
And he trying to buy votes.
It's too late.
He trying to buy votes. Don't fall for it. Speaking of voting, we got 46 days left, Hooch. 46 and we counting.
I'm excited.
46 days and we counting.
Champagne is on ice.
Are you going to early vote or are you going to go to the poll?
I'm going in. Bold as shit. Bold going in.
Well,
I want to feel the energy of voting.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be electric in there on November the 3rd.
We should do a live broadcast, by the way.
That Tuesday morning.
What do you think? Are you in for it?
Oh, yeah. We have the equipment to go out there and do it. Yeah. You know, we should be broadcasting live from the poll. Are we going to try?
Let's do it. I'm going to work on that.
Well, we'll see if we can make it happen. We'll see if we can make it happen.
Yeah,
46 days, that's how long we got to vote, and remember to do so. This election has sparked a lot of interest as far as voting, and I guess people are tired of the way things have been going with race relations and the mishandling of the coronavirus. Speaking of that, Trump knew way back in January about the dangers of the coronavirus. And he played it down to me. He didn't want to cause a panic. A panic happened anyway. Stores. When it was first announced on March 13th, I remember the day well, on Friday, when the state of Alabama closed, and me and my sister tried to go to the store to get some water and hand sanitizers and all that stuff. It was empty. The stores was empty. Every store we went to, everybody had bought up everything, toilet paper, everything. So the panic happened anyway. So what were you trying to do? I would rather for someone to tell me something bad is coming than for me to find out later on and suffer through it because I didn't know of it. Now, he could have done that and he would have saved a whole lot of lives. He would have saved a whole lot of lives because people could have prepared themselves for what was coming instead of being surprised by it. So, all right, Dumb Donald, you did it again.
Dumb Donald. That's a nice name.
You did it again, Dumb Donald. But yeah, that's the news, Hooch. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Dig it.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get a check.
We're going to get one and just win. That's the thing. Because they still, they call it negotiating, but all they're doing is arguing. So what's the difference?
Well,
We're going to get one because Trump has finally said, okay, we need more money into this stimulus package because the Republican Senate say, okay, instead of us doing 1.3 trillion, we'll do 2.4 trillion. But that's still not enough to, do the stimulus checks and employment benefits and stuff like that. They're going to need at least $3 to $4 trillion to have any kind of a stimulus package that will help the American public. So I don't know how they're gonna work that out, but they need to work it out because I got some bills to pay.
You and me both, but what about telling everybody to share, like, and don't forget to hit that Cash App like Keisha just did, which is the $TREWBUCKS.
Yes, thank you, Miss Keisha, and yeah, hit that $sign $2, like Miss Keisha just did over in Macon, Georgia. Yeah, Georgia peaches. Hit that Cash app and get it in. Also, if you want to give us comments, suggestions, anything like that, go to our email at trewvizonradio@gmail.com. That's TREWVIZON radio@gmail.com. Give us some suggestions. Hit us up on Twitter at TrueVision. That's at TrueVision, TREWVIZON.
Dig it.
And we're still working on that Facebook page. We're going to get it up one day soon.
And Instagram.
Yeah, and Instagram. Yeah, we're still working on that.
We're going to change the name. We call it Goddamn Instagram. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what you going to call it now.
Yep. Yeah, and don't forget when you subscribe, hit the notification bell that will let you know when we are on the air, so to speak. And you can also check us out through Double O Action Entertainment.
Yes, you can. Double O Action Entertainment, YouTube.com, Double O Action at doubleoaction.com, right?
Yeah, doubleoaction.com, DOUBLE, the letter O, action.com, and you hit that not YouTube link, but once you go on doubleoaction.com, you look for True Vision Radio, and you click on the link, it will take you right to all of our content here at True Vision Radio.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, do that. And go to doubleoaction.com and go to youtube.com. Tune us in for some entertainment and some information. That's what we do right here each and every week on True Vision Radio.
What you call it? Infotainment?
Yeah, infotainment. Entertainment and information. Infotainment.
Yes, everybody take that dollar challenge and or $5 challenge. Let's go to my Jack and Coke fund and these studio equipment that we most definitely need.
Maybe that's why people don't want to donate. You gonna keep it to the Jack and Coke fund.
Oh, they're gonna do what they go do. You see what Keisha did.
Yeah, she donated.
And Mr. Campbell.
Yes, he donated.
Mr. Henrietta Campbell. I'm sorry, Mr. Henry Campbell. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he gonna get you too. I gave weed. Yeah. But anyway, thank you, Mr. Campbell and Miss Mason, for those donations. We really appreciate it, and we want you to donate as well by going to our Cash App at $TrueBucks. And hey, come on now. We need the money to build our studio, to get us some new equipment, to update our equipment, and to make True Vision sound bigger and better. So that's what we're doing it for. And we appreciate your donation. We're not asking for a handout. We're just asking for a hand. So come on, let's make it happen.
Do it.
Let's make it happen.
Do it.
Yeah. All right, Hooch. What we got going on now?
A little music moment.
All right, let's get into some music moment. Today in the music moment, we're going to talk about one of my favorite groups from Motown Sound. We're going to talk about Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. Martha Reed, born Martha Rose Reed in Eufaula, Alabama.
Damn, close to my hometown.
Yeah, close to my hometown as well. Look out, Louisville, Alabama. The BC is what we call it, Barber County.
In the midway.
Yeah.
MID. Union Springs. Not Springs, but Springs.
Yeah, Springs.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was born in Eufaula, Alabama, July 18th, Hooch.
What?
July 18th, 1941.
The same day of the hooch?
Oh, yeah.
Don't sound so excited.
Don't worry about it, Miss Martha.
One of these days, Al.
We still love you.
Pow, right in your kisser, you.
But July 18, 1941, she was born in Eufaula, Alabama. She was the third of 12 children by her mom and dad there in the Eufaula area. Before she was 1 year old, they moved from Eufaula to Detroit, Michigan. So that's where she grew up, in Detroit. And right after she graduated from high school, she went to work at Motown Records there in Detroit. And she was a secretary when she went to Motown. That was her first job, working as a secretary at Motown. And then she was doing some background work on other artists' music, like Marvin Gaye, The Temptations, Diana Ross and the Supremes, and all of those other artists who was on Motown. She did background work. And how she started, though, she was doing demos for the artists at Motown. She would come in and sing the song on the demos, and the artists would listen to the song so they could sing it on record. So that's how she got her start there at Motown. And then in 1963, her and her two high school friends formed a group, and they named the group the Vandellas. And the reason why it was named Vandella, because her favorite actress was Della Reese. So she took the group name from actress Della Reese and called it the Vandellas.
The Vandellas.
So in 1963, they signed on to Motown Records, and their first hit on Motown was called Come and Get These Memories. I remember that song.
Ooh, be careful how you say that. I thought you were about to say something else. What?
Come and Get These Memories. I remember this song.
Okay.
A nice song. And then their second song was the song you hear in the background right now, their biggest hit, Dancing in the Street. And that was done in 1963. It reached number 2 on the Billboard Pop charts, and it stayed number 1 for several consecutive weeks on the R&B chart. And they also had other hits to follow, such as Heat Wave, which I like that one too. Jimmy Mac, that was a good one. And Nowhere to Run. That was a good one as well from Martha and the Vandellas. They played several hits on the charts between 1963 and 1968. And then in 1968, the group kind of did a break because Martha Reed had a illness. So they took a break for about a year. And they came back in 1969 and tried to record some songs that really didn't hit very well. So in 1972, Martha Reed dismantled the Vandellas, and she tried a solo career, which didn't go anywhere. From 1972 to 1977, she tried her solo career, and it didn't go anywhere, so she went into a deep depression and she became a drug user.
Oh, Martha, no.
So she did that for 5 years, and then in 1977, she did a turnaround and got off drugs, and she came back in 1977 to try to do a solo career again, but that didn't pan out for her. So in 1978, she just started touring with the Motown Music Review, where she toured with Eddie Kendricks and David Ruffin and Stevie Wonder and all of those guys. They had a review that they toured across the United States, and Martha was part of that music review. She also did tours in Great Britain and in Canada. She did tours as well. That happened in the 80s when her music started coming back as people did remakes of the Vandellas songs. So, and the biggest remake, of course, was Heat Wave, which was done by Linda Ronstadt, and it hit the pop charts in the early 80s. And Martha went on to record some more albums that really didn't do anything as far as chart-wise. Her last album she recorded was in 2004, but she still do shows every now and then when she goes out on the road. So Martha is still around. She's 79 as of today, and she has one son, and she was married for 5 years from 1972 to 1977. So that's the story of my homie from Barber County. It's Martha Rose Reed.
Get
in
down.
The music moment.
Martha, my God.
Martha. Yeah.
Stay off that shit, Martha.
I don't think she was one of them old cats out there, smoking. I don't think she was. That take me back to a movie, but we'll talk about that one.
It would send you into a depression if you're used to a certain thing. And
yeah, if you used to your music, being big, and then all of a sudden, your music starts slacking. But they said that the reason why her music started slacking in 1972 was because the guys who wrote and produced the hits, Holla, Doja, and Holla, they left Motown in 1972. So
that's when I was born.
Yeah, that's when you were born. So, in Holla, Doja, and Holla, they were a big producer and writing team there at Motown. They wrote a lot of the songs that was on the Motown label.
And don't forget, people, the title of this show, we have two. Yep.
Yeah, we got two. Mask.
Yep.
Should you wear them? Should you not?
Mm-hmm. And tipping. That's good.
Now that could be interesting about tipping.
Very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, gonna be very interesting.
We're gonna get into it with that tipping.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm. I got some comments on that one.
Almost definitely we do. We had a little powwow earlier.
Yeah, we did. Yes, we did. And we're probably gonna continue that powwow. When we talk about tipping.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that can be a big thing.
What you can do is tip that thumbs up if you come on in the digital room.
Yes, you can. Come on in there. Come on to youtube.com or doubleoaction.com and hit that thumbs up. Let us know how you feel You can also let us know how you feel by going to our email at trewvizonradio@gmail.com.
Gmail.
Leave us suggestions, praises, curses.
Yeah, I think they want to curse us out. Some of them.
Yeah, especially you.
Me? Why? I do declare. Wait a minute.
Boy, you sound like Steve Urkel when he was Myrtle.
Whatever. Speaking of tips,
Yeah,
let's do it.
Let's do it, Hooch. Come on with it.
Things you should never do.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Favorite part of the show. Come on with it.
We're gonna start with tips.
All right.
If you work in customer service, the first thing you shouldn't do is tell your customer, tip right here. Or ask for a tip. And let me tell you the reason why. I ordered a pizza, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guy was, came to the door and he's like, hey, do I know you? Did I play football with you? Because, I work out, go to the gym, And he's big brother, So I'm like, nah, I don't think we know each other. And, I was really hungry. So I'm like, where do I sign? And he was like, you tip right here. So I'm like, I want to make this a smooth transaction as possible. So
was he as big as that dude that was on Life that time that beat Eddie Murphy, but it's cornbread?
I'm gonna put it like this: I gave him a nice tip.
I bet you.
I tipped him like $5.
I bet you.
But you know what? The next day, I called the manager because I'm like, I didn't appreciate the tone. I asked you where I signed so I can get my food.
So you talked out the next day and called the manager.
I didn't want to fight at the door.
I know you did, man.
In my apartment, because I'm no punk, but at the same time, my stomach was more important than fighting. So
at the same time that you didn't want your pretty face bruised, I understand.
Number 2. If you are a Christian, especially women, holy then thou, and you the head of the usher board and always giving head to the deacons and the deaconess and all kind of stuff, doing all kind of freaky things.
I don't believe you said
That's right.
that.
I said it. You're not fooling anybody.
I don't believe.
Hey, and the preacher told me this, right? The long dresses go up quicker than the short dresses, Hooch.
There was a preacher on a show, and this man thought the preacher was, hitting on his wife. He said, no, I can't hit on her. She's a good girl, but I like the bad ones.
See? And number 3. If you're still on the chat line, the first thing you shouldn't do is go on voices. I like a nice little sexy voice, but don't let that fool you. Especially if she goes, I'm 5'5". I weigh 180 pounds. Thickly built. Got a bubble butt. Ooh, crooked titties. But there's one thing. Are you adventurous? When she says that, she's a goddamn man.
Or transgender. Something. Yeah, hers might be bigger than yours.
And that's pretty big. That is pretty big.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, that's really big. I mean, goddamn, that's pretty big. Number 4. You said that, I didn't. Number 4, if you got a child and you're always bragging about your child is always good, and they go over someone's house, especially your family members, because they're always looking out for you, trying to keep your kid and everything, and they just bad as hell. You just lied.
Mm-hmm. And you got some people like that. My child ain't bad. What you talking about? And they be in there going to tear down the house. I mean, really.
Bad as hell. I don't know where they get that from. They don't do that at home.
Like that movie Problem Child. You remember Problem Child?
Problem Parents.
Yeah, Problem Child with John Ritter. And he adopted this little boy that always sent in trouble. Yeah.
He must have came from baby kids. Number 5, and I'm sorry, big people. I gotta do it. I really gotta do it. If you 300 plus, and you know you're 300 plus,
here we go.
Some things you just can't wear like small people, especially those little short jackets, and they look good on a smaller person, you know. But with you, it just looked like you bursting out, and you look swollen like a can of biscuits. And you just don't need to do that. You really don't. And I don't understand, you know, I like a thick woman, but thick and fat is 2 different things. You don't need to wear what other people wear because it don't look good on you. It looks good on them.
Is she F-A-T or is she P-H-A-T? There's a difference.
All caps. F-A-T. I'm sorry, but... And that concludes our things we should never do.
Yeah, before we get beat up.
So I'm not fat shaming. I really like things you should never do. I really like these.
Yeah, that's a good.
It's educational at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good segment. You know, keep them laughing.
And don't forget, if you don't like my things you should never do, you should
Send
email
us
us.
some.
That's
yeah,
right.
Send us some. Send us some things that you should never do. We are all the time looking for suggestions. So send us some things that you should never do to trewvizonradio@gmail.com. Also, I'm still trying to start a new segment called Ask Me. So if you got some questions that you want to ask Hooch and I, you know what to do.
Just don't ask me to stop drinking Jack and Coke. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
That's right. I've been trying for years, people. For years.
That's right. You know what we did? We just started drinking.
Yeah.
I told Al, let's talk about it. Let's go to the bar.
Let's talk about it over drinks.
He noticed, like, wait a minute. Every time we want to talk, he want to go to the bar.
All right, want to go to the bar.
I would go to AA, but they don't have a bar. I mean, why go?
AA? Having a bar? Come on, Hooch.
I mean, they serve food, but no drinks. What are you doing? You just
They serve water.
Who drinks water?
Everybody.
When your body really needs it, you drink water. And don't get me wrong, I'm very healthy.
Water is.
But I have a balance.
Water
Yeah,
is God's drink.
And speaking of God, God damn if you don't hit that thumbs up when you come on in this digital room.
That's GOT.
God damn it.
Not GOD.
Well, who's listening?
All of our listeners.
I have to start calling you the professor. You're always correcting people.
All our million plus listeners are listening.
Speaking of that, I mean, we had on the segment on me, man behind the music or whatever, it's like 111 views. Last week when we brought our special guest, it's near 60. It's still growing. All the shows are still growing slowly but surely. So we like to thank everybody for doing that. And
Yes, we do. We like to thank everybody for listening to True Vision Radio. Letting us know you listening by going to YouTube or whatever channel that you listen to us on, because we also on Double O Action and YouTube as well. So yeah, we thank you. We appreciate you. Tell a friend to tell another friend to tell a friend to join in.
And to tell another goddamn friend. Goddamn friend.
Boy, you cut it close, don't you?
I think I'm going to get in trouble for those things you should never do with fat
I
people.
think you are. Especially the fat one.
Yeah, I love them around this time of year, though. Got to be
Yeah.
healthy, though. We got to have a segment on health, too, because...
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I encourage people to take vitamins, and your vitamins actually is decent food and fruit.
Yes. Yes.
Bananas and apples, especially get them with the seeds.
Yeah, apples.
Anything that's seedless is not good for
grapes.
you. Yeah.
All of that good stuff.
Elderberries,
Elderberries. Now,
because you're from the South, elderberries.
now, berries is really the has a lot of good ingredients for you.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're healthy, any kind of berry,
Mm-hmm.
ranging from strawberry to blueberries to blackberries. You know, all are good for you. And I love them all. I like strawberries, blueberries, blackberries.
Yeah. I take my D3, my vitamin B, my vitamin E, ginseng, black seed oil, fish oil, garlic peel.
Well, you into it.
Yeah, multivitamins.
You well into it.
I try to work out at least, 4 times, 5 times. And that jump rope really will help. A $2 rope will save your life.
Yeah.
Better
I
than the
take
treadmill.
vitamins. I take fish oil pills. I take.
Apple cider vinegar, water.
Yep, I do that.
It's good
too.
for you. And what else is good for high blood pressure?
Lemon water.
Lemon water. And
And I was reading an article that says,
beet juice.
well, it did say beet juice.
No, but beet juice is good for high blood pressure.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I got
and
like 4
also
bottles.
Cinnamon,
Oil.
yes, cinnamon is good for you.
Right. Where do you get the oil from?
I don't know where
I
you
was
get
trying
the
to look
oil
for it.
from.
Yeah, oil is real good.
You
Cinnamon
know,
oil.
cinnamon is a spice. So,
Right, it is a spice.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Got to get that
it's
oil.
good for you.
Yeah.
Vegetables good for you.
Yeah.
You know, your beans.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
once you do that, see, if you lost your libido, men, it's over 40 or 50. Start working out. Do those push-ups. Those sex muscles. See, you got to do that. See.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, tipping.
Tipping that we're going to talk about. What do you think about tipping, Hugh? You know I had to call you out there.
With me being a musician, of course, this is how we do it. We put a little change in the tip jar to show people that we would like to be tipped, but we do get paid. So tipping is extra. If we go out to do a gig and we go out of our way to play a special song for you, if you want to hear something twice that we've done, then tipping, I think, is in order. We push it, we promote it, but we don't push it. It's a difference. So. But America has counted the market on tipping like it's mandatory in a way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't agree with some of that. So
Well, yeah, they say in some jobs are mandatory tipping, especially like waiters and waitresses. Jobs like that, they don't make much as far as hourly wage. The average hourly wage for waiters and waitresses in the United States is only like $2.13 to $3 an hour. So
I'm gonna play the other field, right?
okay,
Isn't it established responsibility to pay their workers and not the customer?
yes, it's their responsibility, but how many establishments are gonna pay their workers minimum wage and over?
Hey, that's not our fault. That sounds cold, doesn't it? Hey,
Yes,
let me tell you
yes,
something.
it does.
Let me tell you
Colder
something.
than noodles on an iceberg. I mean, for real.
What? Say that again. What?
Colder than the noodles on an iceberg, for real.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
But you never mind. Anyway, go ahead.
I just want to make sure.
Go ahead. What you gonna say, man?
You dropped something, but I'll get it later for you.
Well, that's all right.
You know what I'm talking about?
It probably was my
Right, some of your notes, yeah.
music
Okay. Well, you already did.
moment.
So.
Notes,
All right.
Yeah.
I went out with me and a friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We were having a good time. We're eating, right? And this is in Lake Martin. So you don't have to, we good. We left, right? We just forgot to tip. I got a text. I got scolded.
They call you back. Who just said
Yes.
you should tip?
I don't remember the message verbatim, but it was regarding about we should have never left without tipping.
Okay.
I dialed the number back. You know me.
Okay.
I'm the wrong one to do this.
All right.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you something. You say you up there on Lake Martin.
Right, at a restaurant.
At a restaurant.
Right.
What are the majority of people on Lake Martin?
They're white.
And what were you and your friend?
We were black.
Okay. And you gonna walk out and leave no tip.
We didn't do it on purpose. To be honest, we were just drinking and having a good time. But I see where you're going, and it could have been like that. Because I have never,
black people don't tip.
They say that, but we've done research, you and I.
Yes.
So we know it's not. Is it that? Is it a racist thing? I think it's a class issue. I don't think it's a racist issue.
No, I don't think it's a racist
I think every time when we don't do
thing,
something that they do, then we get judged hard for it.
And yeah, you get judged hard as saying, we are cheap.
Well, I'm not gonna get off. I'm gonna get to that. All right. Okay,
we are cheap. We don't want to tip.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing. We left, right, and I called my friend the next day and like, you know what? I got a text from their restaurant about not tipping, and the message wasn't nice. So I called back. Like I said, I called the number back. No one picked up the phone. So I text back. I don't know what I said, but I text something back, in response. We didn't. I think it was. I remember what I said, but not verbatim as well. But we didn't mean to run out on a tip. But is this the protocol when people don't tip that you text your customers back? Because tipping is optional. I did say that in the message.
And they text you back and say, N-word, please.
I think they were smart and not to do that because that would be like an electronic paper trail.
I'm sure it would have been, yes.
I wish they would have done that. Then we would be doing True Vision Radio from that restaurant.
Cheap N-word.
But this is what our society have become. We have made tipping a shameful thing if you don't tip.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be that. You have a clip, don't you?
Yes, and I will be glad to play that.
And in that clip, I believe it was somewhere that says America is the only country that people tip.
Get rid of the practice
So let's see
completely.
that.
Here's why. Unfair pay. Did you know that the minimum wage for servers in the majority of the United States is $2.13 per hour? And that it's been that way since 1991? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true, and it's standard practice. The idea is that servers will generate enough money from their tips to make up for that crappy wage. Before tips, a waiter or waitress only makes $17.04 during an entire 8-hour shift. It's easy to see how important those tips are.
15%. That's 13%. These people depend on tips for a living.
Employees who don't make enough money are supposed to be compensated by their bosses, but that isn't always a guarantee. The U.S. Department of Labor reported a whopping 84% violation rate of employers not making sure their employees received proper payment. Customers aren't always fair. One of the worst problems with tipping is that some customers just don't do it right. Some people, for example, might not understand that tipping should be based on percentages, so they'll put down a few bucks without calculating anything. Other people simply don't believe in tipping, so they won't leave anything at all.
No, I don't believe in it. You don't believe in tipping?
And then there are some people who are just downright cheap. Lots of them. And it's always the server who ends up shortchanged. In those cases, it would be better to have the service charge built into the cost of the meal. It enables discrimination. Putting the power in the hands of customers leaves some workers at risk of discrimination. One study showed that African American servers are tipped less than their non-black counterparts. Another study showed that black cab drivers are tipped 1/3 less than their white counterparts.
So
that's a mouthful.
So even in tipping, you got racism.
Yep.
Wow.
That's why you said that, didn't you? You smart, aren't you?
You got racism and tipping. Well, no, that's not the reason why I said that. I was saying that because where you were. I'm on Lake Martin.
Because you know what? No one, I'm pretty sure, I felt it. No one, I don't think no one other than us would have received that, text, but.
Probably not. Probably if a white couple would have done the same thing, they probably would have received nothing.
That's why it's best for us to have our own, but I'm cool with it for right now. But did you hear what she just said?
About what?
About the, I think she mentioned $2.75.
$2.13.
$2.13, that's right.
Yeah, that what waiters and waitresses on the average is paid in the United States. So, and they need those tips to make up for the wages that they don't make. Now, yes, they employer supposed to pay them, but as it was mentioned in the clip, 84% of employers don't do that. So, what do you do?
Well, if you're out on a date, and we talked about this earlier, right?
Yep.
You want to take your lady out to a nice restaurant. I don't want to offend anyone or you take your man out, ladies, because I don't embrace the other stuff. But hey, it is what it is. Whatever your sexual preference is. But
Look.
but it's still, when it boils down to it, we spending money,
Yes,
and
you are.
if you go out, if you go to a nice restaurant, like you just said, by yourself, you're gonna spend at least what, $20, $25.
You spend, about $20 to $30 on the average.
That's
By yourself.
By yourself.
Yeah.
And that's not including your drinks,
Most of the time, no.
Right. So
Unless you're drinking water.
So I suggest, and some suggest, if you're gonna do that, you better put in your budget tipping. Reason why I believe black people, they say black people don't, and there could be some truth to it that we don't tip, because we look at it like this. Hell, we already spending $60, $50 on
That's right. The meal already high enough.
Right.
And then
So you
want us to throw in an extra 15-20% on top of that when we already paying taxes, which is 10 to 12% of wherever you are. I mean, black people, we feel like we don't pay it enough.
And you know what? White people will look at you funny when you don't tip.
Yes, they will.
Like you just shitted on
Negro.
the steps of the White House.
Negro, please. Why you don't tip?
I was at a bar, right? Well, let me stay with
Well,
this.
you stay at a bar, don't you?
I'm a musician, and we play at bars,
Uh-huh.
But the hell with you.
Go ahead, man.
One of these days, Al.
Go ahead,
But anyway,
man.
spend like $25 by yourself. If you take your date or your wife out, or still a date, regardless, you look to spend, bring $100 with you. That's what I suggest, and that's a
At
lot.
a bar?
That's a lot to a restaurant. If you
Oh, I
taking
was
somebody,
gonna say.
if you taking somebody out, even at a bar, drinks are like, okay, I drink Jack and Coke. It's no secret, right?
Yeah, but
If you spend, I think Jack and Coke's like $8, right? So if you go to happy hour, they're like $4.50, but you got to catch them just right. If you're gonna get it in. If you're just going just drinking, but if you're going out to eat and you drinking, you want to be comfortable. You don't want to be a borrower on a budget, because you're gonna be sweating the whole night. You won't be able to enjoy your meal because you're gonna be thinking, money, okay, what she's gonna order? Oh, you're gonna be crossing your finger. Hope she don't
if
order.
you're going to a bar, man.
Hope she don't order the steak. This is a restaurant I'm speaking of, but you bringing 2 dates. You bringing
Oh,
not 2 dates.
man, let me tell you, I went out on a date when I first moved here to Montgomery. I took this girl out on a date. We went to, I believe it was Outback, one of those restaurants. And when my bill came back, it was $80. That was before I tipped. So,
Well, you could have kept going on while you stopped.
I mean, that was before.
So see, I wasn't wrong by saying at least $100.
Yeah, at least $100 you should take when you take a woman out, or ladies, if you take your man out.
That's rare.
It's rare, but it happens every once in a while. But yeah, at least $100. But yeah, that bill was $80. This was back in the 90s, like 1997, 6. Bill was $80, and Outback. Of course, she had drinks. I didn't. So
if you don't get none, do you feel disappointed? Because brothers look at that.
You trying to put me on the spot, aren't you?
Hey, you just spent $80 at a restaurant. Right?
Yeah, if I spent $80 at a restaurant, and
now they're looking at you funny because okay, $80. What is the percentage on those tips? 10% is your tip?
well, 15 to 20 is what you're supposed to tip. Now, if you got a bill that's $80, 10% is $8. 20% is $16. So you got to leave a $16 tip, right?
You know what? I'm gonna keep it real. If you times are really, especially now, are really hard, right? We're trying to get some type of normalcy back. You know what I'm saying? And you want to, you've been cooped up in the house all day, and you want to get out and go out now. You can go out a little bit now, right? You want to take your lover out or whatever it is you do.
Go to the park. That's free.
Yeah, but
get you a picnic. Look, if you want to take your girl out on a real date and you don't want to pay an astronomical price because you might not get none later on, but if you want to do this, take her to the park. Have a picnic in the park. Go by and get you some food from whatever your favorite restaurant is, KFC, wherever.
What's wrong with just cooking?
Well, you can do that too. I'll make you a bologna sandwich. I don't care what you do, but take us to the park.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of hate mail. But this is the thing. This is the thing. I don't think people should be made to tip. I don't. I know you said once before that, and we kind of all over the place. But if you spend like $80, like you just did, and they're expecting a $13 tip, 16. I don't think that 16. I don't think that's right. Your boss should be your tipper. Let him pay you more. Now, if you go out of your way and do certain things for me, then yes, I would tip you. I don't mind tipping. I don't.
All right. Now, what certain things that a waitress and waiter would do for you
that they should be doing already?
Yeah, for a tip or whatever.
Anything that I ask. If I'm like, hey,
bring you some extra salt, extra butter.
Wow, that seems like that's a hell of a job task, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's still part of the job
Bring you
description.
some more
right?
water, some more. If you drink iced tea, sweet tea.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, what?
If we say we get a lot of this is the end of our night, and we're getting some drinks to go, and we're in the car, and I send a note to the restaurant, right? Can you tell our server to bring some drinks out to the car? That's out of the norm. That deserves a tip.
Well, yes, that's out of the norm.
And so I don't mind tipping, but I don't think that they should. I call it tip shaming when you don't do it. You know?
Tip shaming.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Since we talk about tipping, Now, here's one of my favorite subjects about tipping. What about strippers?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you a tip a stripper, but you won't tip a waitress.
Look, you got to. I mean, I think strippers are performers. Some of them, and they deserve everything they get.
But Hooch, they are paid. They're paid way more than waitresses and waiters.
Well, maybe they should start stripping and serving their food at the same time. I don't know. You got to wash your G-string, your thong. You got to wash your clothes. You got to oil your body. You got to do this. There's a little bit. It's a little bit more into.
On the average, I just was reading an article right before we came on air. On the average, a stripper makes $40,000+ a year. That's what they paid by the employer, not the tips. So if you're making $40,000+ a year, and somebody dropping some rain on you $400 or $500 a night,
that's extra.
Nah,
that's extra. So it's the same thing. Well, Al, are you telling me you want to become a stripper?
no, I'm just telling you, strippers get paid.
Just like waiters and waitresses get paid.
But they don't get paid as much as a stripper.
Well, they need to be taking that up with who?
Their employer, but I'm just saying.
There you go. A lot of people feel different about it. You know, they probably want to hang me or something like that. But that's who's responsible for paying you. It's not the customer.
So if you go into a strip club and you don't have no money to make it rain, but you can make it drizzle.
Hey, you get the drizzle.
And the stripper get mad at you because you didn't make it rain.
You get the drizzle fee.
So come on.
You get not the drizzle fee, but you get whatever comes with the drizzle.
Come on, man.
So you cool with tipping?
Yes, in some instances, yes, I am. Like if I go to a restaurant, yeah.
Okay, if we hang out and I don't tip at a restaurant, would you tip shame me? Hell yeah, you'll tip shame me.
No.
Too goddamn quiet. Man.
No, cause you, if we went out to a restaurant, you wouldn't even tell me your ass didn't tip.
I would tell you.
Yeah, after we gonna get in the car, yeah.
No. And I've done this before, and I'm not ashamed to do it. You want to tip? Look both ways before you cross the street. No smoking in bed.
Come on, come on.
Wear your mask.
Come on.
Boom. Speaking of mask.
Yeah, speaking of mask.
It's another subject.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But tips, come on, man.
Look, you gotta tip the tits. There's nothing wrong with that.
You gotta do what?
Tip tits.
Oh my goodness.
Nothing wrong with tipping the ladies.
You want to see some tits? You got to show them some tips. Is that what you say?
Hey, I didn't make the rules. I mean, hey, if you want to shame people for not tipping at a restaurant, then you should do the same thing when it comes to strippers. Because they're up there by themselves. And guess what? The waiters and waitresses, and this is not always the case. What about who's really preparing the food? The chef. If anybody that you're gonna tip, it should be them.
Well, now, in that clip, you didn't play that part, but they were saying that the tips that the waiters and waitresses get, they had to share it.
Yeah, that's far in between though. You have, because I don't. A lot of times, unless they change things, but that's one situation. But a lot of times, the waiters and waitresses, they keep their tips, and they're not prepared for food.
Sometimes they do. If now I have went to restaurants, of course, you know. Sometimes they just, most of the time they just ask you, or you leave the tip on the table.
Right.
But sometimes you could make it strictly for that server, and you could, tell the server, look, I'm leaving this tip for you, and they'll bring you something to put that tip in.
I got something for you. How do you feel about tipping at a buffet?
Why you should tip at a buffet? You fixing your own food, basically.
They do expect it.
They do, but I'm just saying.
The only thing they get for you is your utensils and your drinks.
That's right. That's it.
But guess what? They want the same treatment. That's crazy. Right? I think it got out of hand, with the tip.
Can't you walk up there and get your own utensils? It just right up there by the buffet.
You can, and I have, but like I say, it's the same. You got to watch the attitude of these waiters and waitresses. They want the same treat. They want the tips.
Mm-hmm.
They really want the tips. We want tips too, but we're not gonna die. We're not gonna cry about it. We're not gonna shame you. We still have conversations with our customers on our gigs. Regardless if they tip or not. And I get it. Tipping. It makes you feel good that you're doing your job, I guess. But like I said, that's your boss should do that.
Well, as it said in the clip, we are the only country that tipping.
Right, because in China they view tipping as a disrespectful thing,
Right.
in China.
So
So if you tip somebody in China, it's like saying that their job is not. They're not doing their job.
It's capitalistic country, man.
So
it's this capitalistic country.
Yeah, if it's
$1 for $1.
Yeah, so capitalistic. Everybody should receive a stimulus check ever since this pandemic. Yeah.
And you can go back to that stimulus check, aren't you?
Hey.
Okay.
How many days we got left?
46.
Oh yeah.
And we count them down.
And by the way, a punch should be here too when we celebrate. November 8th, is it? Or is it November 9th?
November 3rd is the election, but I don't know when we're going to have the results back, though. Because, there's a lot of early voting and mail-in voting, so it might take a little bit to tabulate.
And I'm going to tell you, too, not to get off, regarding tipping, it started...
It started in the Prohibition days.
And it wasn't what people think it was. It was reverse, I think.
It started in the Prohibition days. It started because back then, alcohol was not allowed to be sold at any place. So in order to make up for the money that business owners lost because they can serve alcohol, well, the people had to be tipped to make up for that money. So that's how it started.
And then in London, I remember now to some degree, in London, part of the origination of this pro-tipping thing over there in London, it was some way it was connected to slavery. Did you see that in your research? In London?
I didn't see that exactly in my research, no.
How they were supposed to give us some funds, and they were holding it back and then pay the slave. Because you think about it, back in the day, like in New York, if you need some information, hey buddy, I'll give you $20 if you tell me da. Remember that kind of thing that was going on back in the day?
Yeah.
They'll pay for information.
Yeah.
That's part of tipping, too.
Yeah, there's tipping for information. Well, tipping or
that's why I say
bribery, whatever you want to call it.
That too, yeah. So I'm like, if you at your job, why I gotta tip you at your job, And I get it, if you super cool, you super nice. Now, I'm gonna tell you this, if you're a student, you're a young person or whatever, you're trying to do your thing, I don't mind tipping you. I don't. But,
So yeah,
you're a grown ass.
I guess you're saying you should pay people twice to do the same job.
Some say they're not. Yeah, you can say it like that, but hey, if you don't like your job, your job is paying you $2, $3, maybe you should find another job, and maybe you should.
Sometimes that's not easy to do.
Right. That's why money is tight for all of us. So if you see me and I'm going out, I'm spending $50, $60, $80 bucks. you might not get tipped. You better include it. I don't like it when they include it in the bill because they forcing you to do something.
Yeah, they make you pay a gratuity is what they call it.
Yeah.
And that's 15% of your bill usually. So.
Last time I checked, that was stealing.
Well, could be. Could be. Yeah, you taking money from people and not letting them know that. Because usually most establishments don't let you know that they have a gratuity fee until you get your bill.
But I wonder if you raised saying about that, what would happen?
I don't know.
Just like what would happen if you guys won't come in and hit that thumbs up and share like, hit that notification bell and hit that cash app. Don't let Keisha outdo you.
I know when I have a hoocher come to your house personally and whoop your tail. If you don't hit that thumbs up.
I'm not spending my 50 that Keisha sent to the cash app on getting my ass out of jail. But if everybody would donate, it's not going to hurt. Get a cash app card. It's free. A Chime card is free. So you create that cash app and, we circulate that black dollar. Do what it needs to be done. Yeah. My brothers and my sisters, this is real stuff. We trying to make a way out of no way. This is a money stream. Okay. So if you patronize us, we will patronize you.
Let me make this transition over to the next subject. Do you think strippers should wear a mask?
You fine as hell. I don't give a goddamn what you. Hey. Well, that's a good point.
Do you think strippers should wear a mask? Strippers.
I don't think so because they're on a pole. They're not really.
But they're around people.
They're 6 feet away. Unless you get a lap dance or something, then I think they should wear a mask. Then that'd be kind of sexy, huh?
Lap dance with a mask on.
Ooh, wow! I'm getting tired. I'm ready for that Jack and Coke now, Kiki.
All right. My goodness! But that brings us to the subject of mask. A lot of people don't want to wear a mask because they think it's a violation of their civil rights. These are the people that's mostly
crazy as hell.
Caucasians.
I was at a Mexican joint the other night. But check this clip out.
Okay. Let's do it.
The earth right now. I've got to put my 16-year-old son with a face covering on? I don't think so.
That's what America is all about. It's all about individualism.
When something is being imposed by the government, that touches deeply feelings about individual freedom that roots in some of the founding ideas of the United States.
Mask or no mask? It's an argument Americans have been having since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Most doctors and scientists insist masks prevent the spread of the virus. But some politicians and citizens remain skeptical. And while this fight feels new, it's actually not. Something similar happened 100 years ago.
The history of mask wearing really begins in the second wave of the 1918 influenza pandemic. And so that's the deadliest wave. It's the fall wave. That's really when mask orders and even recommendations to wear masks starts to take off.
Wearing masks became a common practice among surgeons in Europe in the late 1800s, where doctors wore them to protect themselves from patients' respiratory droplets. The 1918 to 1919 flu pandemic took that practice outside of the operating room for the first time. It was the most deadly flu outbreak in history. At least 50 million people died worldwide, with around 675,000 deaths in the US. During this time, masks were recommended in Northeast cities, but mask wearing in public was mandatory in Western cities like San Francisco, Seattle, and Denver.
The typical mask was a surgical mask of the time, which was made out of 4, sometimes 6 plies of surgical gauze. It was pretty porous material. These were manufactured by a number of companies. They were also made by a bunch of Red Cross volunteers across the nation. But in many cases, the ordinance didn't stipulate what type of mask had to be worn. It just had to be a face covering, similar to what we see today. Chiffon face masks were made, for example, for the more fashion-conscious people. There were definitely significant numbers of people who pushed back and who refused to wear their masks or who were caught without masks temporarily, perhaps letting it dangle or removing it, taking it down to take a bite to eat or something like that. And we
Okay.
Okay. Now,
You go
mask.
You go in. I'm gonna tell the story after this.
Okay. Mask wearing started back in the flu pandemic. Back in the 1918.
Yeah, and then 1919. So.
Right after the World War II, World War One. I'm sorry. Right after World War One, that's where masks started. Okay, they started wearing masks back in the latter part of the 1800s when surgeons started wearing masks because of that they didn't want to catch anything from their patients' droplets. So now as of today, we're having this war on mask wearing.
And people have lost lives.
Yes, people have lost lives.
Not just
still
through
losing lives.
not just the coronavirus, just by wearing a mask.
People, people have been violent to people who suggested that they wore a mask. Of course, that incident about the lady in the store. The security guard asked her to wear a mask. She got into an argument with the security guard. Went back home, got her husband and her son. What they do, came back while the security guard was arguing with her husband. Son came up behind him, shot him in the head, killed him.
All for wearing a mask.
All for not wearing a mask because of the lady that want to wear a mask.
Men got to start thinking. But check this out, right? I was at a Mexican restaurant last night. I would shot him out, but I won't.
No, I don't.
There was a European woman. She's about 300 pounds. About probably 5 foot even. Went outside to take a smoke. They were really packed, right? Mm-hmm. So they were letting people wait that want to enter because they had such a packed house. So I don't know if they were sectioning things off, because we're still in a pandemic.
Yeah.
So they was having she was having a discussion with a group of people that was next to us outside. She was like, if they start this shit with separating us, we have a big family, separate our fucking family, I'm gonna show my ass. And I ain't wearing no goddamn mask. It's my constitutional right. And so when she said that about showing her ass, and you can't say shit like that around me. Did I say shit? Well, you can't say that around me. I hope you don't show your ass because you don't need to show. We already see enough. We can see it from the front that you got, But she was gung-ho about not wearing a mask.
And there's a lot of people just like that. They don't want to wear a mask. They feel like that's a violation of their civil rights. They feel like, okay, the Attorney General of the United States, William Barr, he compared a mandatory mask law, he compared that to slavery.
Really?
Yes, he did.
Families are not being separated.
I know that. Families are not being separated.
Who created these narratives?
You're not going to kill anybody wearing a mask. Slavery, they kill people.
Right. And like I said, families are not separated when you're wearing a mask. This is actually can save your life.
He compared that to slavery.
Think about it. If you go into a burning house, you put a covering on to so you won't suffocate from the smoke, right?
His thing was...
Am I right or wrong?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
But his thing was, if they force you to wear a mask, you are under bondage.
Listen, I look at it like this. People, really need to go to school for common sense. They need to have a course on teaching that.
Yes, they do.
Because we're in a
the
pandemic.
Attorney General.
Yeah, this is
you
ridiculous.
need to go to school.
This is this is crazy, you know. So that's why I say it's not. I used to thought, you know, it was like black women or women period they want to wear. It's not a race issue. This is just all across the board with people not want to wear their coverings. You know, people are dying from this. You know, so
yes, they are.
So your dumb ass need to wear your mask. I don't.
All right, mask is not, you know, to restrict you of your civil liberty. That's not what a mask is for. A mask is to save lives, to slow down the spread of this deadly virus, because it is deadly.
This is also research. When you put on a mask covering, 17%. When you don't wear, 3%.
When you don't wear a mask, 17% of the droplets gets into the air, and when you put on a mask,
it's 3%.
It's 3%. Right. I mean, cuts it way down.
So
cuts it way down.
That means also when we say that means when you talk, the saliva that comes out of your mouth is what you don't see.
Right.
So it cuts it down when you know.
And also, statistics have shown that mask wearing has cut down on deaths in the United States. It has cut down on the transition of this virus. It has cut down on the infection rates in some states. And speaking of states, there are 30 states right now, 31 states that they have some type of law for wearing masks. 19 states doesn't, and out of those 19, 18 of those states have Republican governors.
If something happens to you, you are in a hospital and you have to have surgery, you would want your surgeon to wear a mask.
That's right, you would.
So you need to think about that when you trying to go against wearing face coverings. It's important.
Man, it's
because you don't want the surgeon to give you anything.
Right.
And vice versa. So
the United States is a selfish country. Now I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna say it because it's true. I mean, we always say, well, our rights being violated, my rights. But you don't never think about the rights of others. Everybody, people have a right to live.
Right. I know we have the freedom of speech too, but I don't go around going up to people saying because you know there's consequences that come.
Lying on people, every time,
And that's my constitutional right, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't mind your tongue.
Right.
So yeah, we know about we know about your constitutional rights, but right now we're in a goddamn pandemic, you asshole.
Just because you can do something, that don't mean you should. I could do a lot of things according to the Constitution, but I should not, according to human kindness. I mean, humanity. According to the Constitution, I got a right to do a lot of crazy stuff, but that don't mean I should. You got to think about, would you want someone to come around you without wearing a mask? Think of your family. Think of your life.
And that woman that was talking, she was smoking, and she's already overweight.
Yeah, smoking.
And don't want to wear a mask.
And where were you again?
San Marcos on Burbank Drive.
So she was a big fat woman coming in to eat some Mexican food.
Yeah, and she took a she took a food break. she take a break from eating. She was outside smoking a cigarette.
So she took a break from eating and went outside to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, and about to pitch a bitch about not wearing a mask.
I'll tell you, man. Where are your mind? I mean, or I should say, where is your mind when you want to put other people's lives in danger just so you can satisfy your constitutional civil right?
Damn, it's redonkulous.
I don't understand it.
I don't either. It's common sense. People don't have common sense. We know what the Constitution says, but this is important,
Now, I think, thank goodness that the governor of Alabama, Poison Ivy, as you want to call her.
You said that.
She put mask laws into action at the start of the pandemic. She did not wait. A lot of other states did. Some of them didn't put mask laws into action until July or last month. Governor Ivy put mask laws into action at the time the state closed down at the 1st of April.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
And we still got those laws in effect right now. It's extended until, I believe, November.
Just like getting a stimulus check should be put in effect.
It should be. Congress.
But we could talk about this till the cows come home.
Yeah, we can.
Is this the sign of the time?
Yeah, it's a sign of the time. Mask is a sign of the times because things have changed to where we have to wear a mask. This is not a choice.
Yeah, and some people are born with their mask on.
And you can say that every time, aren't you?
But
then should they wear another one to cover up that one?
I can dig it. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. People are weird. They just stuck on. They don't want no one to tell them what to do.
Man.
Yeah,
Selfish.
they don't want nobody to tell them what to do.
But that rhetoric, keep going back. I might have to go back to the president. Because the president played down this virus.
You know what? I haven't saw him wear a mask yet.
The only time he wore a mask is when he went up to that hospital there in Washington, D.C. And the only reason that he wore one then because they would not let his ass in.
Without wearing that, good for them.
Without wearing a mask. That's the only time he wore one. He played down the pandemic, still playing down the pandemic. Even after people have found out it is a pandemic, he's still talking about, okay, we're going to have a vaccine in October.
God bless him.
That's not going to happen because the doctors and scientists say a workable vaccine will probably won't be available until 2021.
So until then, everybody needs to be stimulated every month. No joke. I don't give a goddamn.
Yes, they do.
If it's 1,000, 1,200, 1,500,
yes, they
2,000, it needs to be that way every month until we get control over
like I
this
said,
situation.
Trump said to put more money into the stimulus package.
Well, you said it best. He's just trying to buy some time, buy some votes. So.
He's just trying to buy votes.
But if he was smart, he should have, set in place that this is what we're gonna get until this pandemic is over. And then he might make me scratch my head at the booth with voting for him. Scratch. That's it.
Right. That's all I'm gonna do. Is scratch my head.
You ain't give me. I might hesitate
because there's other things that. I don't agree with Trump for. Not just the stimulus package.
He's just a goddamn idiot all the way through.
Well, that's true.
He should wear a mask. He should cover the whole face. We don't want to see it.
Yeah.
He just cover the eyes and just cover everything. We don't see it.
He should wear one 24 hours a day.
He's one of those ones born with ears, so that's probably why. But anyway, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, share, like, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. all your social media, do the damn thing for us and hit that Cash App because we're running out of time.
Yes, we are. So come on, do that. Go to the Cash App, $1
Oh,
Go to the email for your suggestions, comments, and if you got questions for Ask Me,
oh yeah, the new
that.
segment. Yes,
Yes,
let's
do
do
that.
that. Can't
Come
wait for
on.
that to get going on.
at trewvizonradio@gmail.com. I check this email every day, so come on.
And
I
shout
want to
out.
see something in there.
Yeah, put it in. Give him some work to do. And shout out to our buddy Punch.
Give you some
Our buddy Punch that came through last week.
Yeah, shout out to Punch and
Back in the ham.
and mine. You know, as I said, my condolences goes out to the Hardy family. Shout out to them.
That's right, along with the Coxes.
Yeah, and the Cox family. Shout out to them as well, and condolences goes out to the both of you all families. I mean, death is not a pretty thing.
I blame Donald Trump. It's not. But this is an exciting time. My favorite time of the year, fall and football
Oh yeah,
season.
fall is.
And baseball.
I didn't know you were a football fan.
I'm not. It just sounds good for me to say.
Yeah, it just sounds good for you to say.
I know who you are, so.
Well, I am. Oh yeah, I can't wait, man. I can't wait till football. The SEC conference kicks off next weekend. Oh yeah, I'm ready for
Yeah, we can
it.
talk
Troy
some football.
kicks off tomorrow.
Dig it.
My alma mater.
Shout out to
Troy
H2O Band. We'll be at Auburn again October 8th featuring Miss L'Oreal. Yeah, Washington.
Now, before I go, let me mention this before we go. The first presidential debate, is coming up Tuesday, the 22nd. So it's going to be on TV. Watch it. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, two old white men battling it out. But it's going to be in Cleveland, Ohio.
It's going to be funny.
It's going to be in Cleveland, Ohio on the 22nd of this month. And they're going to have the presidents have three debates. One is for the 22nd of this month. The other one is for the 7th of October, I believe. And the other one is going to be for the 19th of October. That will be the last one. Now, no, excuse me, the 8th of October is the presidential debate. The 7th of October is going to be the vice presidential debate. Now, that's the one I'm interested in. For real.
The big kahuna, huh?
Kamala Harris go against Mike Pence. I'm ready for that.
She's going to tear him a new asshole.
Now, they only get one debate. The vice president candidates only get one. And you think she ain't gonna bring her A game?
Oh, she's already on the A list.
Man, that's gonna be real good. 48 days, that's what we got left. And also, we only got 12 days for you to fill out that census. The last day is September 30th.
Don't forget to subscribe to us. Definitely. Subscribe
Yes.
and hit that notification bell. That way I don't have to send out all this goddamn. Hit that Cash App. Don't let Keisha and Mr. Camel outdo us.
No,
Or
don't
do
let
you.
them. Don't let them.
And thank you again, Miss Keisha. I promise I won't drink it all. No, it's for a good cause. It's
Yeah,
for
I'll
our
keep him
equipment.
from doing that.
Yeah.
I'll keep him.
I can't afford it.
No, he can't.
Just miniatures.
No, he can't.
I'm gonna get at least two.
And he can't really afford them either, but
Did he say that?
yes, I did.
I'm gonna have to cut this mother.
Did I do
Where's,
that?
where's my knife? One of these days. Pow!
Oh, whatever. Boy, put that thing away before you hurt yourself. Anyway.
One of these goddamn days, you son of a biscuit eating.
But,
You know what? I'm gonna introduce you to that white woman that weighed 300 pounds. Kill herself.
Oh, yeah, all right.
You might like that. I don't know.
No.
It is wintertime. Hey, don't knock it.
Look,
Don't you knock it.
I said be warm. I ain't say suffocate. That's a difference.
Hey, just put some flour on her.
That's a difference.
We can find a way spot.
Is that going to wrap it up for us?
Let's wrap it on up before we get stupid.
Yes. Are we
Too
out?
late for you.
We out of here.
We out.
Next week. Tune in.
Vote.
Yeah. We out.